welcome back to the channel. So today's going to be a quick little video, and I'm going to be talking about running in the Royal Enfield Himalayan. So those of you that have watched my previous couple of vlogs know that I'm going to be pretty pedantic about running this thing in. I'm by no means an expert. This is my first brand new bike. I'm just going to give you a bit of an account about what I've done to run the bike in, and how I found the entire process so far. So the first ride back was an 80 plus mile ride home from Colchester Kawasaki, and on that ride I experienced a number of A roads, a little bit of dual carriageway, and I'll be completely honest, it was no fun at all. So the process I followed to running the bike is largely come from that first experience, which wasn't necessarily the best in the world. So how many miles has she done? So at the moment, hopefully you can see that okay, just coming up to 200 miles, and the first running period for this bike is 300 miles. Now during that period you're not going to take the bike above 37 miles an hour. I've gone above, probably taken it to 40, but that's about the absolute limit really. And then I'm from the 300 mile mark up until 1250. You're not allowed to take it above 50 miles an hour. So I am very, very shortly going to be going on my honeymoon. So the intention is to have a little bit of a ride out tonight, a little bit of a ride out tomorrow. The bike's then going to be parked up for a couple of weeks, and then I've got about a 60-mile journey to get the bike serviced. And after that we can exploit a little bit more of the power and the potential of the bike, and find out really a little bit more about what she's all about. And at that point as well, like I mentioned in a previous video, I am then going to take her on her first green laning voyage. So what have I done to running the bike? I pretty much tried to stick to the handbook as much as I really could. If you look at the handbook itself, the recommended speeds and for the different gears are all over the place. So you'd think it would be a linear 8 miles an hour in first gear, 8 miles an hour in second gear, and so on, but it's not quite like that. So if you're trying to run in the bike by certain miles an hour, it's going to be very, very difficult to do that indeed. So as much as I've tried to be particular with the bike, what I've done instead is use the Revs as a bit of a gauge. And for this first 300 miles, what I've discovered is if you keep the Revs to 3000, you can see there, you're looking at about 37 miles an hour. And that's true for every single gear. Now, I've had a little bit of a look on the forums. I'll feed back on this for you, but from what I've read, from mile 300 to 1250, if you take the bike to about 4000 revs, that's going to be about that 50 mile an hour mark. But like I say, I won't do a full video on it, but I'll certainly touch on it in an upcoming video. Now, in terms of running the bike in, after that first ride home, I've decided to stick to the smallest roads I possibly can do, and if I do have to go on a national speed limit road, we're actually on one now, I'm trying to make sure they're as quiet as humanly possible, just so I don't have cars whipping past me like I did on the way back home from Colchester. Now, two important things in my mind when you're running in a bike. First is obviously not to let the revs go too high, but secondly, you don't want the revs too low either. So you don't want the bike bogging down, you don't want it to struggle, you don't want it to labour. So that is one of the primary reasons I've decided not to take this bike off-road just yet. Okay, we'll just swing a left down here. Just going to come into the little village of Castle Rising, and yeah, you'll see in a second, it's a gorgeous little place. The weather's not the best today, it's been pretty grey and gloomy all day, but yeah, when the sun's out, she really pops. Just be a bit careful around this corner, because it is very tight, and you do get quite a few horse riders and walkers and cyclists and runners and, well, everybody down here really. So yeah, keeping the revs below 3000, taking it nice and easy. Now, like I said, you don't want to let the engine labour, so I'm not revving it to high hell to get from 3,000 in one gear to the next gear. Similarly, you know, I'm not tickling it either. You want to have somewhere in that sweet spot. The other thing you want to make sure you're doing when you're running in not just this bike but any bike is going at the same speed the whole time. So what I'm trying to do is vary the speed ever so slightly, use the entire rev range in each gear, just so we can run in the bike appropriately. And that's pretty much it. There's no magic rule to it. 3 tips: don't go too fast, don't go too slow, stick to smaller roads. I'm trying to stick to 40-mile-an-hour roads as an absolute maximum, and yeah, use the entire rev range as much as you possibly can, and probably try and avoid hills like the one I'm on now, because that'll make life easier as well. But apart from that, short and sweet today. That's a wrap. So again, thank you so much for watching. Till next time, goodbye. I've done my outro. However, we've got Castle Rising up there, so let's just go around here and see the pub. We'll do a double outro on this one, shall we? So, Black Horse pub there. Very, very quiet at the moment. I think that building there used to be an old hospital. If you're local to the area, let me know if I'm wrong. Field of sheep on the right, and hopefully, as we go up here, approaching the end of the road, we'll have a bit of a better view of the castle. And if this has been a waste of time, I'll cut it out. I'll tell you what, let's spin the right, let's go all the way around. Might be easier. Now I've got a funny feeling you're not going to be able to see much of this at all. No, not really at all. So apologies for wasting another minute of your life, but again, thank you so much for watching, and until the next one, goodbye.